NEFFEX said in an interview recently, we start slow. It's really tough for us to sometimes find the rhythm. And that's been a trend of their map 1 win rates, but also their pistol rounds for Sentinels. They have the second worst pistol round win rate when it comes to VCT currently.
Yeah, they're only above 100 Thieves right now, so it would be great for them to get a hot start here. The desk has talked a lot about how this comp favors them. There's a little recon dart and a push. Just trying to punish Whippy for trying to take that B main control early with only a turret. You have to make sure that Whippy doesn't just get B main for free. And now here comes the drone as version 1 work their way fairly quickly down mid. You have to be aware of some kind of paranoia trap setup in mid. If there was an alarm bot there, paranoia playing off the back of it, these are the kind of things that version 1 now have to be thinking about.
And Zoms, he's got that paranoia in hand. Ghost as well. Has it available? Let's it rip. Actually, just dodges, goes straight to the side. Nobody playing off of it, and they're just jumping straight into his face. Celsius, the 1-for-1, a quick trade. Ten's also taken out. That's Celsius with 2.
It's a big shot. The flash just to allow him to reposition. And now version 1 could actually slow the round down if they want to. They're normally a pretty pacey team. Recon Dart makes sure from Shaz that they're not going into B. And this has got some pace, and Dapper will hear all of these footsteps.
Yeah, all the footsteps now as they're trying to run themselves into the A side. All going down. Celsius just pushing straight through the smoke. What is that?
Was Dapper failing the jump there? He was like looking backwards, jumping in the wrong spot. Very odd play.
Listen, we won't talk about it.
Well, Celsius has a fraction of his health left.
And now it's a 2v3. V1 setting up with these post plants. Pretty intelligent stuff from Celsius here. He's just going to be playing through the A main. Xander all the way back in hell, so it's going to be difficult for Sentinels to try and clear this. Shaz does have the arrow, though. Sends it out. It's going to be clearing a bit there. 10 straight over the top, and that's going to be some good kills going their way. Now the 1v1. Celsius, he needs to try and ace this. Shaz sticking it around the corner. He swings, and he's going to be rewarded with the kill and the clutch.
Awesome play by Sentinels coming out through heaven there, winning the 2v3.
Ooh.
It's the play by Tens jumping on top of Generator that allows him to catch, with his Sheriff, the player, I think it was Xander, hiding in hell. Overall, great pistol round. We talked about that slow start and Sentinels pistol round win rate. Getting those on the board early, that is so good to begin this.
Yeah, you start winning those pistol rounds, and you're looking at a very different Sentinels. They've been gassing themselves up that, you know, this meta that we're moving into with the controller changes, it definitely suits them. Zoms on the Omen, which is a
throwback
for him.
pick.
Yeah, throwback.
Straight back to 2020.
That's a lovely nade as well, just to try and push Sick into position now, holding on Wine. You can see the power of Omen on this map with these one-ways.
And also, on the other side of the map here, on the minimap, look how aggressive Dapper is getting. So, in the pistol round, you had a recon dart and Tens pushing really aggro. In the second round, you've got Dapper looking to take a fight early. They are really trying to condition Whippy so that he doesn't take B main in the early round.
V1 down to a minute here. That was a drone used by Sentinels just to get a bit of that info. Pushes them away for a moment. Still a lot of time in the round, though, but these one-ways just keep getting put up. You can see Zoms is scared of the contact play through Cat. They actually don't have anyone watching this.
But his paranoia is still so good from anywhere around here. That knife is going to detect at least one, possibly two. Xander definitely got caught by it. Knife doesn't clear.
They got an 06 here, right?
They didn't clear Wine, and they just stuck the orb.
Yeah. Trying to bait the swing coming through. Now the util as well comes down. That is Sick dealt with. You know, he was there from the knife, the trajectory of it.
Henny's lurked his way in as well. He's all the way through tree, and I do not think that Zoms has gotten a read on this.
The players struggling, but Henny, what is that timing? Straight around the corner. V1 looking like they might be able to take this round. The 2v2. And he does have the Spectre in hand, and as the door is closed, Sentinel's going to be finding it difficult. They might try and push the issue. It could go with a bit of pace here as the spike will be committed. Players are low. Turret down to give them a bit of information. Sentinels, they have to play this well. This is kind of fallen out of their hands now. The double play in hell. Smart, and the alarm bot doesn't actually spot them. The Sentinels know. Quick little swing. Dribbling, baiting it. That is very nice fundamentals there from Sen.
Sublime kind of play. That round got way too sticky, right? It's a 2v2. Sentinels could have easily lost, but it's the same kind of play they made on the pistol round. Just a really good retake from Heaven in a 2v2, 2v3 kind of scenario gives Sentinels that lead. They're not going to have a very good bonus round here. They've only kept a Bulldog and a Spectre into this. So the chances of them doing significant economic damage they're really low. We'll see whether they decide to buy up. This is one of those rounds where you could decide to just buy rifles and go for it.
Dapper is.
Yeah, they've got an odd buy, honestly. This isn't going to allow them really to have a good buy in round 4 if they lose, but Ten's hopefully going to work his way up to Knives over the course of this. And he's actually sat in a really passive position now on the 3rd round. So they've pushed out B main both of these times before, and that has now forced Whippy to take a more passive approach, even when they're not pushing.
It does seem incredibly open. I mean, I'm not sure if that turret spots it just on logs there. The players come through and working off the back of the drone. I mean, V1 is taking a lot of space. Counter drone. I'm going to be using that KO ult, those Elsis, to try and move the team in. He's built them up quickly off the back of those 4 kills that he got on the pistol round. Jazz will see what he can do. Tries to line it up with the spray down, but doesn't quite find too much. Only a bit of damage done. Sight control still there, but Tens, can he hold it down? Not enough.
A really, really tough retake scenario here. Sick and Zombs should be considering saving their guns, I think, but Sick gets his head popped by Penny. He's kind of feeling it, goes for the swing as well. Another great Vandal headshot. And that is going to crush the Sentinels' economy. They might still be able to put up a bit of a buy. Tens is one away from getting a knife, but it's not good.
Prime Gaming flawless.
It is a Prime Gaming flawless. Look at what happens in this. In these replays, you can see every single time a Sentinels player tries to take a fight, there are multiple people facing them from version 1. They're incredibly good at supporting each other as they push into areas. If you try and take a fight, it's so hard to isolate 1v1s. That's what the Paranoia is going to be great for. Paranoia, flashes coming out from Sick. You want to try and split them up a little. And here it is, Sentinels going for that eco round. Only a Spectre to their name.
Deep Knife actually gets a lot of information. Anything to play off, though? Just one way. Oh, okay, V1. The disrespect, they just jump straight through it. All their players grouped up in A, with the exception, just Whippy. Now we see the drone. Another nade just popped out onto the side to stop them from pushing through.
This is a 4-player stack. This would be really bad for version 1 to go into right now, and they've read it. They recognize the utility coming through. They heard the...
I mean, there's so much there.
Yeah, the KO, the Omen.
Shock
they know
darts.
that the Shock Dart was there as well. They know it's at least 3 players. Is this going to be a classic version 1 re-hit, though? They love doing rounds like this. Early round, they'll take a piece of the map. In this instance, A main. Force the rotates, cut noise, and then they'll explode out again. It's so much harder right now for Sentinels to find the timing for their utility, because there's no warning. Version 1 are just going to be in an instant.
Sick is holding the knife, waiting for the reaction to it. There's the knife. The counter knife as well comes through.
The Paranoia is great.
Across the wall. Yeah, and the Paranoia was fantastic. Zombs does get the 1, but V1, I mean, the fundamentals are far too strong. Whippy, my God. He's holding that long sight line. Collects the players, and it's just Sick and Dapper left alive. They have the pistols in hand. Could pull a miracle out of somewhere, but nah, Xander's more than capable of shutting that one down.
And this looks like it's going to be fairly clean, tying it up at 2-2. You know, if we're just going to talk expectations for a little bit here on Ascent, version 1 have looked amazing on this map, whereas Sentinels, they haven't got a win. They haven't played it very much, but they haven't got a win. The only maps that Sentinels have won on this year are Fracture, Bind, and Haven. And there's only Haven in the map pool today. So you're expecting version 1 to come out swinging. On the attack side, in general, across VCT, they average an 8-4 half. Average. Like half the time they're doing better than 8-4. So it's really just about Sentinels holding on in this first half. And getting the pistol in the follow-up is already putting them on a pretty good beginning. They're going to start out not looking to take control of B main this time. Whippy has that area for the first time in the game.
Wait a second.
And the knife's turned off with Killjoy.
Yeah. The Killjoy util all taken out. Tens. A bit of trouble. Smoke's dropped down. He's able to just pull back there to the spawn area. Penny falling as well. V1 losing that player. Not ideal for them, but it's a quick pivot now. They're pushing all the way around. Zelsis, hot flash. That's the Paranoia used as a response to it. Zombs. No one really swinging off the back of it, but now Tens gets back into a position to hold just the crossfire that's occurring. All the players wrapping around them, and V1 have been caught in this trap.
Only Xander left alive, and it doesn't look doable for him whatsoever. Yeah. Really nice round from Sick. It's Sick's knife, I think, that actually cancels the hit through mid, because they all got suppressed by it. And then he has the nade to stop the follow-up into A, spams through the smoke as well, collects the final kill. He now has his KO ult online. Sentinels have a ton of ults available for this.
And you're starting to see the glimpses, I think, of why the Sentinels players were hinting and teasing that this meta would suit them. It's very loose. They can play off of their own utility just with a snap of a finger when you see that the paranoia is coming through.
And even actually, Bren, the stylistic matchup, I think, is good for Sentinels. They like playing against teams that play quickly. They're happy to play very reactively and get the flow. And so far, they've read where version 1 are going in all of these rounds. They've had stacks in the right places, even on the thrifty rounds. They read the A push coming through. They read the cat push in the prior round. Shaz has actually used his drone really early here, over by tree, in a position where he can't get turned off by a knife. And it just grabs a bit of info in mid.
I mean, it doesn't see anybody, though. Everybody's hiding around the corner. Tens. Brave play.
And now version 1 are using that negative information, the fact that Sentinels thought mid was clear, to go and take that area of the map. I think this makes a lot of sense. They're probably going to poke towards Dapper in market and then try and end A here. Look for them to try and force out this alarm bot and then pivot catwalk.
Quick smoke as well. Goes across. Nice start. Information gained.
They haven't actually cleared Dapper out of market, though. Dapper still knows this isn't a B split.
The read comes through. I don't see more than ready. Already players on the side. Penny dashing right in, and he takes care of one still. Tens up in the air. Knives in hand with the lockdown now. Just going to be pushing them away, and Sander just finds that pick.
Shaz has his ult for this, but he's choosing not to commit it. The attacker lockdown is getting value here. Dapper falls in heaven as well. And Shaz, I think he was worried about somebody lurking through mid. Zik gets turned off in the midst of all of this, and it looks like version 1 are going to go straight back to 3-3.
Looking like they're around here, unless they just overextend right into the Sentinels' crossfires, but Zik only gets the 1 before eventually going down. Shaz in the 1v3. Never know. You never know with Shaz. I mean, I've seen some crazy spray transfers in the group stage so far.
Yeah,
but 3-3 is going to be scoreline in this map, and honestly, Sentinels keep going toe-to-toe with V1, I think. When V1 on their attack side, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds.
I would definitely agree. If you can keep this going to 6-6, Sentinels are laughing. But unfortunately, not really all the way to the bank. Look at their economy. They've got 2 light armors and a Spectre going on here, with a Bulldog as well.
Yeah.
Version 1 have really been good at keeping them honest. The economical advantage is vastly in favor of version 1. Tens poking his way towards mid. That knife finds a couple of players over at tiles. And if Tens is given anybody, it would be an opportunity at Xander, but I don't think he's likely to poke his head out.
Quick little pop though now with the KO ult. Going to be suppressing a bunch of the targets, including Dapper at the back of the side. He's not going to have that util to play off. Tens holds that angle around the corner, but does not expect the player out. Dice, look at this anchoring still. Effie's collects both the players who are...
Do they go for the res?
Pushing them back. Looks like they want to. You can hear the sound cue, and Zelsis is going to be brought back up. Tens for a repeat at some point there, and Xander ends up holding the wall and takes him out.
What a flash!
Beautiful Bob flash, and...
I really didn't think they were going to check 6 position there. He'd managed to sneak his way in, giving no sound cues while the res was going off. But they're still diligent enough, still disciplined to check that corner. And that's a round where I thought Sentinels did a lot of stuff well. The peak there from Tens is gorgeous. Jazz is a bit of bait. And then Dapper's anchoring, sorry, Zom's anchoring was pretty nice there to be able to knock the KO.
He did the best with the weapons that he had.
But unfortunately, that was a force buy. And so it knocks Sentinels back down to an eco round. And that's one of the problems that they've been running into right now. One way goes up in A main. Once more, Dapper fighting aggro over B. They've been liking to try and take this area of the map away, but Whippy and Penny are very set up for any kind of aggression.
Look how open mid is right now. I mean, V1 obviously don't notice. They're just poking and prodding. The entire middle section of the map is just wide open. There's no utility that's watching it. And obviously, V1 are a very patient team. They, you know, if they anticipate that there could be an aggressive eco play against them, they will slow it down and hold.
Absolutely. They're normally a quick team. Oh, that's great. Just the diligence there. Zels is holding the perfect angle to dodge the flash, get back onto the angle, and punish Tens. But you're right. Version 1 are known as an aggressive, fast-paced team, and they certainly can. They're going to explode here. But against the eco rounds, on the anti-eco, they tend to be fairly disciplined.
There was potential there for Zoms to try and turn that. That Paranoia caught a bunch of targets, but... All right, now, just a 2v5. And Shaz look to take away a couple of guns now. Obviously, the next round coming up, he's going to have a bit more money and ultimate available. After got his ult this time around, so...
They haven't really been in good positions to use these ults, though.
No.
It's also the Astra. If we're going to talk about controllers in general and Xander staying on the Astra, they won a round off the Astra wall, basically. Right? They went for the B hit. It cut off a couple of people. They got the kill on Shaz. Sure, Ten's got a pick, but overall, that ult gave them a big advantage to win a round. It's unlikely you're going to win a round off Zom's Omen ult. It's just not the same kind of impact.
Yeah,
Here we
not
see a
the same
change-up,
value.
though. I don't think Dapper has been playing towards A very often. He's mostly been playing in that B main kind of area. So now Shaz pivots over here. And Tens, but he gets rocked.
Bro, I mean, the knife came through to suppress as well. Even if Tens gets that one shot, he's not going to be able to dash out. The timing of it was impeccable, and they just spam through the smoke. They know that there's a possibility that a player could be there holding within that area. Shaz does his best. He only gets the one, though. Still, Sentinels are quick. Trying to retake this. Flash. Comfortable for them. What a flash straight over the top. He's getting caught, and the running gun from Zelsis. Oh my goodness, the tippity tap of his feet. Running side by side. 6 rounds now on the ball for V1.
And it now feels like version 1 and running away with it.
Absolutely. Man, it wasn't too long ago we were saying it was even. If Sentinels can keep it even, we're looking at, pretty good situation for them.
But remember, a reminder to you, version 1 average an 8-4 half on their attack side. And that's across all maps. And they're favored here. I mean, Sentinels, like I said, they haven't won on Ascent in VCT this year. So this is more of what you expect from version 1. It's just proof that they're still able to make it work with the Astra nerfs. So Killjoy utility once again from Dapper over on the A side. Same one-way. So it looks and feels the same from version 1 as they take A main. Disrespecting this utility here from Zoms.
Yeah, there was only one real attempt from Sentinels to take that A main control early on when they put Sick into Wine.
Yes.
And since then, they've been giving up these orbs all the time.
Yeah, they haven't really gone for like a paranoia trap play or anything. Here's something over towards Catwalk. Sick could definitely flash here, but there's no way of really punishing it. It's just to get Tens out. He still burns the dash.
Oh, wow. That's
no.
okay. I mean, Hunter's Fury popped off here.
Oh, God, run.
Oh, my goodness. The movement from Tens. 11 HP in a dream, but already, look at that decisiveness. V1 are already into B. Straight through market. Not quite onto the site just yet, but I'll try and re-clear through B main. Just to make sure that no players are lurking in that area. V1 alive right now. Now they're going to start to get that plant down.
And they're playing aggressive post-plant positions as well. Zelsis is in a position where he can swing off a player lane, swing off the turret contact, for example.
They just don't clear. Zelsis holding that corner angle.
And the lockdown is used again against an eco round, against the Thrifty. No crumbs are being given. Not a single crumb.
Not a single opportunity. They know how dangerous Sentinels are. Individually, all of these players, they can turn around on an eco.
But some serious respect being shown here. It's round 9. It's not like it's the final round. You might as well throw it in.
And the Sentinels players hunting for the X6 kills, but I only get the one onto Zelsis there, so a clean rounder from V1.
Yeah, and part of what Sentinels was doing well, early on, was identifying the areas where those version 1 pivots were going. So in that round, they take A main kind of early, and then pivot through mid to B. Pretty quick, with a lot of pace behind it. As soon as they had broken that cat trap, the catwalk trap play with between Tens and Sick, they just immediately pivot through market with a lot of speed. And Sentinels were reading those moves really well early on and trying to position somebody like Sick or like Zoms at the end of that so that they could anchor with a flash. That just hasn't really been present. Nobody there to break the recon from Tens. No Cloudburst used either.
Yeah.
Has to give it up.
I mean, just left alone, essentially. He's only got the one smoke, unless he used it early in the round, but I think just the money situation means that he couldn't afford too much utility.
Now, there's an alarm bot still in mid, but Shaz is still going to drone it. So they don't have any information towards the extremities.
I mean,
but they're doubling up on info.
So early as well.
They are. Version 1's early round aggression is forcing out the drone from Shaz so early. And Dapper's just going to get turned off here. He can't do a thing. Yeah. He actually managed to pop the molly beforehand, though.
And he gets the one pick. It's a quick res. The Hunter's Fury was popped off. That was Shaz trying to deny them, trying to walk in. The spam through the smoke. Zoms, okay. Stray bullet finds the head of Whippy. Have a knife to push away. Potential retake here from Sen, but they have been slowed down. V1 on the site. The 4v4.
They have amazing utility. They have 2 flashes, Paranoia, Recon Dart that they've just used as well. But Zelsis is on a fantastic lurk, and this alarm bot obviously not active with Dapper dead.
He's found the timing. Sick goes down, and it has disrupted It's a quirky little play. It's absolutely thrown a wrench into this retake. Look at the Sentinels players caught unaware, man. Unaware. They have to hold in the market area because they know that Zelsis just gets that pick. He wraps all the way around. He injected chaos into the round. You can see Sentinels trying to set up. Zoms was holding the paranoia. They were about to call a play. It's the perfect timing from Zelsis.
It really is. It's a fantastic timing. He has so much time to be able to do all of that as well because they were so fast into the site to begin with. It's an explosive play that means Sentinels are going to be a bit slower to react, which gives Zelsis more time for the wraparound. Plus, they got the kill on Dapper, which means no alarm bot in mid. It was just, it all worked together. He even threw a knife at the end that stopped TENS being able to dash.
Yeah.
So that really just puts the dampener on any retake attempt.
What a game so far from Zelsis. 14-5.
He's frying. He has been amazing on the KO. In VCT this year,
I think one of the best in NA at the moment.
It's him and Zeppa,
Yeah,
for
you make
sure.
an argument.
They do play very different styles, but I'm really a big fan of how Zelsis plays it on this map. Really supportive, but able to challenge and get aggressive for kills when needed.
Oh, it's the last round of the half. Sentinels would love another one on the board.
I told you, version 1 average 8-4.
I know, it'd be working towards the average, wouldn't we? Nice nades just to try and disrupt the V1 push, but they are already deep into the site.
Okay, here, Brent. It's a full retake setup. Dapper has his lockdown. So what are they doing with this?
V1
the
are
knife
fighting.
comes out and V1 are fighting.
They don't even want to give them the space so that they can use the lockdown.
Paranoia
Denying all
is
of it in
great.
3, it's a good paranoia, and the kills, finally they come through still. Shaz holds that. 2v3 now as the lockdown's forward, pushing all the way through.
What?
You've got to be joking! The Nanoswarm was down, pushing down. Shaz just has to hold that swing angle, and Dapper with a bit of run and gun. Oh my god, just about locks that one up. So we do end up moving towards the average for V1's attack sides. It's going to be the 8-4 half. It was 3-3, and Sentinels just got that additional round as the tail end of the half, man. They're going to need to really scramble. Sentinels have often been slow to start. Six said it himself in an interview he did recently. And, well, they're going to need to start to mount a bit of a comeback now against V1 currently. The scoreline, obviously, you can all see it. 8-4 at the top of your screens. Got to see something special coming out from Sentinels. Maybe a bit of prep. Something to plan around with this Omen pick.
There's a massive KO diff happening at the moment too, so I'm looking for Sick to really step up here as we're looking at their attack side. He has the spike at the moment. This pistol round is beginning fairly slowly. Extremely patient play here for Sentinels.
Yeah, just a bit of light poking and prodding from Sen. Just want to try and hunt out the positioning.
So version 1 have got a bit of a damage setup. So they're going to shock dart here off the turret contact.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, I mean, that did chunk down TENS.
Yeah, it's a
And the second one?
Oh, I thought that was going to be a direct hit, actually, onto Dapper, but it's a nice play. Version 1 do sprinkle those in on their defense side. And Sentinels... Okay, Dapper knows that he has to break that.
He's getting intentionally
tagged.
tagged.
Yeah, getting intentionally tagged there to make it look like it's a B hit, mid to B, something like that. When in fact, they're grouping up for an A split.
Smart from him. Out of drone. That's a knife used, though. It cancels it. Holding too close. Shaz just around the corner. He's going to be denied a bit of that extra information. And now we see the exec coming through. Paranoia doesn't quite catch. But are they going to expect Xander, who's holding in his corner? I don't think so. Penny already dashed through. It's a quick pop flash right round the sides. Will the swings be there? Smoke to try and disrupt a lot of the timings that's coming their way still. Sentinels, it's a 3v3. They are quite low, though. Stapper on a sliver of HP. The swing round the corner. How are V1 winning this one out? It's up to Shaz. Jump round the side, and, well, that's a classic for you. Whippy ends up winning it out. 9-4 is the scoreline.
That's not a good beginning. We were talking about Sentinels winning the pistols. They did a great job in the first, but unfortunately, that really was winnable for Shaz. There was about 15 health available on both sides. But
low.
This jump into sight from Penny to be able to take down TENS kind of opens the door for the three-man heaven setup, and then the turret's just giving them contact. So weak on Effie's and Whippy. But Whippy manages to collect the final 2 kills. And Sentinels, they're not going for a force buy here, nothing crazy. Kind of accepting going down 10-4.
Oh, spots a jump peak. Shaz down early. Not the player you want to go down.
Now, Brent, I was talking about how good version 1's attack sides are. Sentinels have been lagging so far in 2022. they are not only second worst in their pistol round win rate, they're second worst in their attack side win rate across VCT as well. Again, the only team underneath them is the struggling 100 Thieves roster.
That is insane considering their scoreline or their current standings in the group.
Absolutely.
That's a ridiculous.
This match could take them anywhere from first to third in the group. So it's wild that they have such rough stats but are still managing to put up the wins. I think that speaks to the experience and talent on this Sentinels roster.
Yeah, for sure. Really just having a field day, man. Push it against the ecos. This is a player as well. You don't want to give this guy kills in these particular rounds. He is one away from the knives, I believe.
You know, yeah, he is. You know, might be one of the most underrated players. I think that's what his coach was tweeting recently, actually. One of the most underrated players in North America. Now, of course, the coach is going to think that, but there's,
Prime
there's another
Flawless, by the way.
Another Prime Gamer Flawless, as you'd expect. But, yeah, Penny's stats are just nuts. And it's not just his stats, obviously, but his impact in the server is phenomenal. And even when he's not getting the first kills, he's getting traded and he's making space for his team. And he's just been dominating. Even if you just compare the Jet v Jet, there is no stat where 10s is higher.
I mean, that's crazy.
Isn't that
is
mad?
Crazy, yeah. You told me that before the groups. I mean, I'd find it difficult to believe.
Look at that, kind of like a reverse one-way from Xander. Normally people put that on the other half wall.
Yeah.
So this one blocks it off even more difficult for the attackers to get through, I think.
Quick little clear of that alarm bot in mid, Sentinels, so they're going to be causing a bit of misinformation. Not necessarily misinformation, but definitely going to keep V1 guessing as to whether or not they are pushing through that mid area.
They close the door, get Effie's to watch the spawn in case there's anybody lurking extremely deep. And Shaz drones Sick into Cat, looking for that opening kill. I think Sick is still only sat at 4 kills so far across 14 rounds. So him being able to find an entry would be a big morale boost as well for the guy.
Backed up, door going to get broken now. Is this going to be signaling that B split? It looks like Sentinels were setting up for it, but the players of V1 are more than ready. They've already got them here. Flash in hand. Zelsis is getting ready to support him at the back of the site. The flash goes over. It's a classic play. They love to do it. The Sentinels players, they're hardly even in the sight. Sick holding the angle right around the corner, but the headshots are just flowing through. Spectre online. Shaz in the back. 35 HP though. The 1v2 does have better weaponry. Finds the one, but the swing timing from Penny is just impeccable.
Shaz is doing all he can. 3 kills in the round, but it's the fragging is amazing from Shaz, and I don't want to pull him down for his IGLing. Obviously, one of the most incredible IGLs we've ever had in NA VCT. Might be the best we've ever had. But these kind of rounds are where Sentinels really struggles in their attack half. Every piece of utility there, apart from the drone, made it feel like a B split. And it was a B split. And the mollies coming out, the nano swarms from Whippy, stopped them going through market. He had 2 in market to stop a push coming through, which means both of their B players can dip to backside and Zelsis can flash himself through catwalk to help. And that delay and the fact that version 1 just get the read on what's happening makes that push all too easy for them to shut down. And they win the bonus. They're 11-4 up.
I mean, that's absurd. Take flight. Drone used by Shaz. Has to maybe clear market with this one as well. Oh, it gets destroyed. So now they are going to have to use more utility to clear wine even. I assume that there's a player there because of the swing that was taken by Xander to kill that drone.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that you normally only make if you've already pushed a player into wine. So you can see that Zoms is pretty cautious of it at the moment, but it looks like Sentinels are not aiming to go towards A to finish anyway, so they're not really worried about there being a player there over there. They don't have any B main control, though. They have some level of information, but Shaz doesn't have the drone. 45 seconds left. They don't control deep mid or cat. This is going to be a really tough push for Sentinels, and that's before you factor in they've only got Sheriffs.
And they don't have much time left. It's quite orchestrated. Zelsis is just watching mid, but as soon as the paranoia comes through, the turret also takes that contact, and now Zelsis grenades into the back. Flash inside the smoke, just in case there's a player holding inside of it. Spams it, 20 seconds remaining, and are still not on the site. Finally, the burst comes through. Can the players get anything done? No! The answer is a resounding no. Xander with 3 on the spray down, and the team, well, definitely back in. The swing comes through. It is 12-4 Sentinels. Any signs of a timeout? Any signs of something to disrupt this momentum?
Doesn't really look like it, does it? And the two tips of the spear, TENS and Sick, have, they're 12 and 30 between them. So they're not being able to brute force it. I'm not saying it's TENS and Sick's fault. It isn't. The way that they're setting up these rounds is not setting TENS and Sick up necessarily for success. Version 1 have always got the read. There's always utility they have to battle their way through. But something Sentinels can often do in these type of games is get crazy rounds from TENS or Sick that make up for the lack of kind of strategic prowess, let's say. And that individuality is what you're looking for Sentinels to do well in patch 4.04. You're looking for that loose style, for the paranoias and TENS popping off. Here he goes for the entry.
All right. Paranoia was used earlier. That is a nice nade. Bullet tag. That's enough. Xander slowed down to a crawl. Couldn't actually find his mark, but the swing comes down anyway. Whoopi into hell. Penny's up top as well. And that's the map.
That's all they wrote.
I mean...